women in this lifetime absolutely can have it all, and that we do not have to lose parts of ourselves to have it all. Hey, I'm Amanda Booz.
Hi, I'm Crystal Vega.
And this is
Elevators Podcast,
where we talk about the peaks and valleys of life's journey, from relationships, entrepreneurships, friendships, and a little taste of social media's sizzling hot topics, all from the lens of modern womanhood. And we have a special guest today.
A very special guest. She is a food content creator, but I like to say she's a professional lemonade maker. I'll explain what that is a little down the line, but we have Maria Legarda here with us. Thank you for coming. Maria is in Miami for F1 weekend, and we were like, we have to snag her while we can. So we're really excited to have you, Mari.
Thank you.
I know you've been to Miami a couple of times, and I seen that when you landed, you posted the Juan Valdez coffee shop.
Yes.
Is that one of your favorites in Miami?
Well, I just honestly couldn't believe it. Obviously, I'm from Colombia, and I think just seeing it in Miami, I was like, damn, that's so crazy. That's
Is that a Colombian brand?
Yeah. It's like our Starbucks.
And it's
like
in the Miami airport.
Yeah, it's in the Miami airport, and it is like our Starbucks there, and it's just such a respected brand all around Colombia. You know what I mean? Seeing it in Miami was just one of those wait, I've been in Miami so many times. I used to live in Atlanta. We come here all the time. So I was like, what is this doing here? It's just really dope. You know, when you see parts of your culture just
in different places.
In Miami, you're like, wow, we made
that
it.
was a good welcome getting off the plane. I love that.
It was super
Felt like
special.
home.
Yes. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be a great trip.
So you've been in Miami so many times, being that you said you're from Colombia, but you lived in Atlanta.
Yes.
So you've been here before. I got to know your top three. When you're in Miami, what's your top three things that you have to do?
Oh my God. Well, they've changed drastically at this point, girl. It used to be off the plane, shots, we be at another club. Now I'm off the plane. Can I get a massage? Lymphatic drainage, honey. I got to be in bed. I got to be well rested. Let's get a workout in. But honestly, I feel like it really depends. I really do genuinely love to come to Miami and hit there's this yoga class I took last time.
Ooh, which one?
Awesome.
I'm always looking for a class.
Her name is Natalie. I'm really picky about yoga classes because sometimes I feel like I can just get a little this was kind of a woman empowerment yoga. It was just so dope. Shout out to Natalie. I'll send it to y'all. And it was just one of the best yoga classes I've ever been in. So now when I'm in Miami, I make it a point to try to make it to one of her classes. Just super dope. I felt really empowered. She makes you make an intention. It was all dope women. The vibe is right. So I love that. Love going to a nice dinner, a little Komodo dinner with the girls.
Ooh, Komodo. You know Miami very well. Komodo.
Do a little and then honestly, chill and go to the beach and just lay around. Not do too much anymore.
Relaxing.
I'm let me not be at 11 until 6 a.m.
Anymore.
I've been done that. We're not doing that anymore. So
you have such an interesting trajectory. You lived in Colombia, then you lived in Atlanta, and now you live in LA. For those who are watching this with fresh eyes, who may not be familiar with you, can you tell us a little bit about your story and your background?
So a little bit about me. I grew up in Colombia. We moved here when I was 9 years old to the States. My parents brought me to Atlanta. So I think my whole life I've always felt this crazy, such in between cultures of listening to Mark Anthony and Carlos Vives at home, and then listening to some Future and some Migos trap in Atlanta, and just being very part of both cultures and really growing up in that. And it allowed me to just really express myself and really own whatever parts of me kind of felt really authentic to me. So sometimes people hear me talk and a y'all will come out and they're like, what? Where are you from? And I'm like, I did learn my English in Georgia. And then went to Georgia State, some country. But, it just really allowed me. And then at Georgia State, I, was able to really start acting and really got into entertainment world. And then started getting into the content creation world and really fell in love with it. And then, once I just kind of was on certain TV shows and did certain things, we were like, great, the next step is LA for content, for TV, for the next level of my career. And it was just, I made the move in 2020 and it was the best decision I've ever made. And I love it.
With 1 point something million followers,
literally,
how did you get into content creating?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it is the craziest story. Literally, it was 2018, I was in LA for a callback for a TV show. I had 4,000 followers at the time. And I followed this creator called Tonio Skits, who had millions of followers. And I just always loved his sketches. And I'm an actress, so I would see them and I was like, that is so funny. Literally knowing nothing about this, I was like, slid in his DMs with like my little 4,000 followers. I was like, hey, have you ever need an actress? I'm here for a callback. I was there for 2 days. He's like, yo, I actually need someone today. I was like,
wow.
I just got out of my TV show audition. Like, I was just like chilling. I was like, guys, if I get kidnapped by Tony Escape, like, it can't be that hard to find
where
him.
I'm at.
Yeah, you know, because like, I always, like, I'm Colombian, so I be ready to go down, honey, okay? I be like, looking at all the entrances, exits, you know?
Right.
So I pulled up to his house and we filmed my first sketch ever, millions of views. And I like loved it. I was like, this is so fun. And he was like, you know, you can like do this and not be a broke college student. I was like, what? Like, you can do social media and not be a broke college student? Like, I was working at a restaurant, like, pursuing acting in the full hustle of it, making my little $300 a month as a like a restaurant waitress, and was like, I'm rich. Like, what are y'all talking about? And he was like, no,
Rolling in dough.
yeah, like $300 a month as a college student. Four Locos on me.
You think you made it that time, right?
So then he was like, no, like you can actually do this. And I was like, wait, for real? And then I was like, wait, let me think about this. And then I just like really enjoyed it. So I started with like sketches and like comedy. And I went to LA, like then 2 months passed and it was summertime. I was like, I'm gonna come to LA. Girl, I had like no money, nothing. I had 5,000 followers. Tonio was kind enough to be like, yo, stay with me for a couple weeks if you need it. I couch surfed. My following went from 5,000 to 20,000 in 1 month. He just put me in all the rooms with like every different creator. King Batch, you know, Lele Pons, like so many different creators. And I really just got to be a sponge and look back. Like I wasn't even like doing my own sketches yet. Like I was just learning from all of them and seeing how they were moving. And I was like, wow, this is really dope. Like I get to be creative and I don't have to wait for an executive and a TV show to say yes to me. Like this is so empowering. Like as artists, we're always waiting for a yes. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, man, fuck that. Like I'm gonna start doing this. And then I went out to LA and I just got to learn from some of the great people on social media, came back with 20,000 followers and then just like started finding my niche. And it went from, it's changed a lot. Like I went from like comedy and then content in Spanish only. And then I made a full switch to the English market. And so it's just been a really big transition, just finding my way, but trying to just be authentic to whatever I want to do, you know?
I love that. You know, so many people, I feel like reach out to like, I'm sure so many of us asking like, how do I get my start? So I think it's so dope that you said that. Like you literally took a chance on yourself and you just started. Like you just, you used the platforms that you had and you just went out and created. So I think that's such a dope story. And the fact that you were able to grow from just, you know, sliding in a DM. Like sometimes it's not an email. Sometimes you literally could just slide in a DM and it's just being in the right place at the right time. What was that first deal, that first content brand deal that you got where you're like, wow, the 300 went up to like,
right. Oh my God. I think my first content deal was like, was it Fashion Nova? Okay. Like back in the day, like way back in the day, like when I was like starting it, but it was like, they just wanted me to like wear their clothes. I was like, wait, y'all are gonna give me free clothes and pay me like over $1,000? Like I'm rich now.
Yeah, I just love
you know, that was like so early on. And I was like, wait, this is dope. And like, but like, I was just excited to just be able to just like have my creativity and like let myself flow with whatever it is that I wanted to do. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was like that. It was like random, like Fashion Nova that I did a deal with. So
I love
you
that.
literally dabbled in basically every market: English, Spanish,
literally
sketches, and now
comedy, lifestyle,
food, content creation, which we love.
Oh, thank you.
I know your stomach probably doesn't love it, but we love how much you try different foods and stuff like that. What do you think the future of content creation looks like? With like TikTok being banned, and
you've
all
seen it
these
evolve.
different things happening, and like
you've seen the evolution of it, and you've done so many different things.
So much. So I'm just like a really firm believer of truly staying authentic to whatever it is that you want to do, right? And it was a really hard hit for me when I went from Spanish content and being so comfortable in like Latin America and making money that way, like not having to think about money, to then being like, great, I'm gonna switch over, and my management team in Latin America being like, what? Like that's crazy. Like you're not gonna be able to do that. And I was like, I'm gonna figure it out, but I gotta try. You know what I mean? And that was like really, really hard on me because I had to kind of bet on myself and be like, okay, this is gonna be fine. And I was able to make that switch, but it went from like not having to worry about money to like, oh my God, I'm struggling to pay rent if I'm being really transparent because I'm making a switch. And now all of a sudden brands are like, we don't relate to her anymore. But I was like, I gotta figure it out, you know? And I've been able to just by really being like authentic and continuing to just try it and be myself in this food space. So I feel like when it comes to the future of social media, it really will always go back to, are you being authentically you? That's it. In any platform, and just trying the things that excite you. Like, I'm a really firm believer of trying different content. It might flop, but did it make me happy? Yeah. So it'll come back, whatever. People will eventually get the hint. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm really big on like doing the things that I love.
So authenticity is the name of the game when it comes to like the future and just continuing to create. And you are just a truly authentic person. Crystal and we're so excited that you're here. I've been hearing a lot about you through Crystal, and I've also been like seeing a lot of your content as well, which I love. And I think that you have so many full circle moments that happen from you talking about LA, and then this McDonald's story we have to talk about. Oh, yes. Your McDonald's commercial.
Made it work. For anybody who was wondering, she made it work.
Your McDonald's, because literally
national commercial,
but your grandmother used to work at McDonald's too. So like, talk about that.
Oh my God, that was such a crazy moment. I just think everything is like, I always say this, like, I don't believe in coincidences. I believe in Godcidence, right? Like, it's really always God. And I have that tatted on me in Spanish, like, Diosidencia. Like, it's never like coincidence, always God. And I think McDonald's was like such a full circle moment, because when we got to the States, we just had no money. Like, my parents genuinely had no money, but I always tell people, like, I was so rich in love. I never really realized how much we were struggling, because my parents gave us so much love. Like, we were pulling out couches from the dumpster. Like, that's where we were at. But you know what? Like, my parents were like, I couldn't tell you that I lacked. Like, I was having a blast. My life was, I was living in Beverly Hills in my head, okay?
Right.
And I'm a really firm believer of just like love and how far it can take you. And so my grandma came from Colombia to help my parents kind of be able to like get started, and she worked at McDonald's. And like, I have the craziest memories of just like her coming and like bringing us like a Happy Meal. And that was the best. As like a little kid in Colombia, McDonald's was a lot more expensive. So like being able to have it here was just like the best. And then fast forward to years later, my parents were able to do so much and like really live out their dreams and like give us so much. And then McDonald's came to me literally right after my grandmother passed away. Like, my grandmother passed away, and I got the offer from McDonald's. Like, I'm not kidding you, like probably 2 weeks later.
That's crazy.
And it just felt like I told my mom and dad, and they were just like crying, because they were like, this is insane. Like, it was just such a full circle moment that I know she was so excited about, because she was a big McDonald's fan to this day. And it was just really special, to feel like, damn, like when we got to the States, like, my happiness was making these Happy Meals. And now, like, one of my biggest deals I've done was McDonald's. And it was just like such a genuine, like, wow, this is so special,
That's so beautiful.
And yeah, it meant a lot. It was a lot more than I
and just a commercial.
Did they know this story too? McDonald's, did they know?
So they didn't know until we were ready to film, and they heard about it, and they were just like really moved. And when I dropped the video, like, I wasn't even gonna drop the video. My manager was like, no, I think you should share this. Like, people gotta hear this. And I was like, okay. Sometimes, you get a little like nervous when you're being so vulnerable. And then I was like, whatever, this gotta help somebody, bro. Yeah. And then, like, apparently got to the CMO of McDonald's, and they were just so moved by it. They were like, sent us long email, like, we are just so moved, because like, that's their whole purpose, right? Finding like purpose and brand that's deeper than just like,
buy this.
Yeah. Like, it's deeper than that. So that's what I was trying to make it.
Honestly, I was excited to have you on because love you, but also like, I was telling Amanda that one thing that I love about the content you create is that you are so vulnerable and unfiltered. As we segue into our unfiltered segment, it's just about just being a woman unapologetically and speaking freely. And I think that you do that a lot in your content creation, whether you're talking about how good the food is or you're talking about grief in your family. And I think that for me, as somebody who has experienced grief a lot in my life, seeing your content, which is like, there's a bunch of content in the world, right? Food content, get ready with me, but like grief is like slim. And I think that you being vulnerable on camera and sharing stories about your grandmother and sharing stories about your brother really resonate with people like a lot. But to your point, what has pushed you to decide to share those stories? Other than your manager saying, hey, you should share this, like, what was it that you were kind of like, okay, I think this needs to be heard because I can't be the only person going through this?
Well, first of all, thank you. That really does mean a lot because I think so often we put things out and we just don't really know. We just hope that people resonate with it. But a really big part of it comes from that feeling. I'll never forget when my brother passed away, Googling brother dying story. And I was looking for anybody who could give me hope that one day I would be okay. To be honest, like when I tell you I searched the internet, I was like trying to find maybe an influencer that could talk about losing a sibling. Like I had never felt that depth of pain. And that's just like a core memory in my mind that I'm like, I will never forget this because that's the moment I realized, oh, I'm just like everybody else. Grief is gonna happen to all of us. And it really stuck with me because I'm like, all I needed was somebody to just tell me, Mari, one day you will be happy again. And I couldn't find it. I found very far and few. And at that moment I said, whenever I feel better, whenever I genuinely have that light, I will talk about it because all we need at different stages of our life sometimes is just hope that we can get us through it. So I had to kind of be more so of that for myself. And I looked up every podcast, anybody who could talk about it to let me know that there would be a little bit of hope. So I really aim to talk about it more and more because I think we all need hopes at different parts of our life. So for me, it's so important to kind of be there for that version of 2019 Mari who like was in the darkest part of her life and was just like, if only somebody would have told me, like, girl, you will smile again. Yeah. Like, I just needed that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, that's what has drawn me to, like, continue to talk about it. You know what I mean? And be like, this is real, you know?
How old were you when that happened? Because I feel like age also plays a big part in how you grieve and how much it strikes you.
Yes, absolutely. I was 26 when it happened. And it was just like, you know, nothing prepares you to lose anybody, but nothing prepares you to lose anybody suddenly when you are healthy, when they're perfectly fine, and it's a freak accident. You know what I mean? For those of you who might not know, my brother was in an Uber in Medellin, and there was a Brinks truck that pulled up next to him, and he was in a car, and a motorcycle pulled up in the middle. I had just gotten off the phone with him 5 minutes ago. I told him I loved him. Me and my brother were best friends, like twin souls. A motorcycle pulled up, tried to rob the Brinks truck. And obviously those Brinks trucks have guns on them. Shots were fired, 9 shots were fired. One of them came in from the driver. It missed the driver by like a millimeter. It hit my brother straight in the head and he died. And we had just gotten off the phone like 20 minutes before that. So like those kind of shocks, like those kind of like, you know, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see my brother wasn't sick, thank God. That will shake you to your core. Yeah. You know, like but it was just when like everything changed for me, like life changed for me and I had to figure it out and then find hope and like, you know, figure out how to pick all the pieces up and figure it out for my family, things that nothing prepares you for. But like, if I can give one person like girl, you are going to like, I promise you, you're going to smile. Like, and you just don't got to see it right now, but you will. Then that's all like I want God to use me for. Yeah.
And I think experiencing grief a lot now as I get older, I'm like, oh, I see why people people still say getting old is such a blessing because there's so many things that can happen in this life that, you know, one day somebody's here and then the next day they're not. Versus so like, true. For example, like I lost my grandmother years ago and I want to say like 4 years ago at this point, and it hurt. Like it's always gonna hurt, right? Always, like it's always gonna sting when you lose a family member. But she was getting older, and there were like things that she were going through. So it's like you kind of prepare for it a little more, even though you don't really prepare for it. It's different than when something happens so suddenly. And I was talking to Amanda about this because she's actually somebody who's never experienced grief so close to, like that. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, like this is a perfect, you know, kind of conversation because Mari can talk to experiencing grief, but also, you know, I guess kind of give advice on like how to support somebody who is dealing with grief. Because for example, like for me, there were certain things that I wish I had a little more from like certain people, but like people don't know how to deal with grief. They don't know how to support. And I was one of those people until I experienced it myself. Like, I'm like, what do I say? Sorry for my condolences. That's so weird. Like, but then it's like when I went through it, I was like, honestly, like, I just want you to sit next to me and we can sit in silence.
Yeah. And like to Crystal's point, I've had, you know, family members that I've lost, but never someone so close. And I've had friends and family members who have lost people super close to them. And I felt like naturally I could sit next to somebody and feel something, you know what I mean? And feel it. But I know it's so much different when you're going through it. So what ways, when you were going through that tough time, did you feel most supported, or what ways could people have supported?
Honestly, like, I was very blessed to have an incredible group of friends around me. Like, you know, you have your family, but they're also trying to pick up the pieces, you know? Like, I'm trying to pick up the pieces, but my mom just lost her son. My dad lost, you know, his son. My sister lost another brother. So we're all just in a very messy way, like, all picking up the pieces. So that's when I really depended on like friends that were just like, girl, exactly. Like, we can just come over and sit in silence, or just like really just friends letting me call them and just crying, like letting myself be angry, you know, letting myself feel all the feels and hearing me, and then just being like, great, like, what, you know, do you want to go on a walk? What can help you get out? And you know, one thing I'll never forget is one of my best friends, Danny. I'll never forget the day she was like, I'm going to come spend the night so we can hit the gym tomorrow, because I know you might not get out of bed if I don't. She has a whole apartment, you know, once we're in our 20s, like, it's harder to, you know, like. And she just came, spent the night with me, and got me out of bed that morning. And I got to work out, and my mom came with me. And it's like, those are such a core memory that I never forgot, because I'm like, you just came and you spent the night with me. Something that like might not seem like that much, but it meant the world to me, because we sat there, we talked, you know, I cried a little, went to bed, and we woke up and she got me out of bed. Like, sometimes it's just like, hey girl, come in and get you to get out of bed. You know, other times it's like, great, I'll come and lay in bed with you. Great, I ordered us food. You know, ordering people food. Like, sounds funny, but like, we had friends that were just having food delivered. Things that like, I don't want to think about. You know what I mean? Like, okay, great. You showered, right? Cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, little things, got you food, got you drinks, got you, you know what I mean? Just things like that. It's a simple thing. Like, and just letting them know, like, I'm here if you want to talk. I don't got to tell you I feel you, because you might not feel me, and that's okay. But I'm here if you want to talk.
And honestly, that's why I say you are a lemonade maker, because life has handed you lemons in so many different ways, whether it's from couch surfing in LA to losing family members. Like, you always take those situations and you share them, and people resonate with that, and you make lemonade out of the situations you've experienced in life. So like, I really admire that about you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that story. And I think, you know, something that I was thinking about just hearing that is the importance of, you know, going through that and experiencing that, but then also I know you look at life in a different perspective. You know what I mean? After losing someone so close. So do you feel like in your space as a creative that you look at your legacy a little bit differently now that you know like how fragile life is?
Absolutely. Like, absolutely. Everything now, after my brother passed away, I always felt this deeply, but like, after my brother passed away, it just magnified it that it has to come with purpose, whatever it is that I'm doing. If it is not, if the only drive is money or fame, it's just not fulfilling for me anymore. You know what I mean? Whether it is like, great, I want to be in the food space. Like, why do I want to be in the food space? You know what I mean? Is it because I want to be a Latina in the space? Is it because I want to open certain doors? Why do I want to start a TV show? Like, what is the purpose? Is it for fame, or is it because I want Latinos to see themselves on TV? You know what I mean? Is like these high-powered roles that we might not see ourselves. You know, like, everything now for me comes with purpose, and it always comes with like, I know that there is something like, we have angels guiding us, and I truly believe in that. So I know I'm very protected. So I just choose to always do good in business and in the entertainment world. And people have done me really dirty, but I'm like, God sees everything, and like, I'm gonna always win because I have a good heart and I'm genuine, and like, that motivates me and drives me. You know what I mean? To do good and be good. And just always, why am I doing this?
I know this is kind of like a heavy question, but like, what do you want your legacy to be? I know, heavy. I know.
No. I love it. I love it, girl. We can talk about anything. It is very important for my legacy to be that women in this lifetime absolutely can have it all, and that we do not have to lose parts of ourselves to have it all. You know, we can change those things. You know, things are going to change. You're going to grow. But I really want to empower women, especially Latinas, to know like, we can absolutely be business women, and we can also be creatives, and we can be sexy if we want to. And then we can also be, you know, we can also cook for our man and still be like high earning boss ass women, because I think so often we are told we have to choose. And I hate that, because I'm not good at like choosing one path, you know? Like, I love to cook for my man, but I also love making money and owning businesses and like I'm very career driven, and I want so many different aspects of my life, and I want girls to grow up and be like, I don't have to choose. You know, I'm allowed to like have it all in this lifetime.
I love that about our generation. I feel like our parents did what they had to do with what they could. You know, as your parents came here from Colombia, my parents also are from the islands and have come to the United States. So they had to do what they could, right, to make a living. But I admire that about you and like, you know, women like us in our generation, because we don't have to choose one thing. We can do everything.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I like to say that our parents did what they had to do so we can do what we want to do.
Yes. That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like also piggybacking off of what you asked me, Crystal, to make sure I answer the question full, another really, really big part of like what I want my legacy to be is that whenever people see me and whenever the work I did, they are like, oh, I see how God has used her. Like that is very important to me. Like, oh, wow, my faith is at the forefront of it. Oh, she got through that God light. You know what I mean? That's really, really important to me.
As another spiritual girly, I think that is so important because I also feel the same way you do. Like, if it wasn't for God, like we wouldn't be here in the positions that we're in. So I love that you mentioned that. I'm excited to hear about like the new projects that you have coming up. Like, I feel like you're always working on something super cool. So what's in the works for you right now?
Oh my God, a lot of more crossing over. Like, I think the world has seen me, you know, like I said, I'm an actress before I even did content. So I'm very comfortable in front of the camera. And while I've done shows on Netflix and movies, like now I think people are just more used to seeing me in the creator space. But I'm like, wait, I've like trained for over 10 years as an actress, like been on shows, you know? So it's like, I'm ready to kind of pick that part up of myself again. Looking to executive produce and come out with a show about my brother's life and, you know, really create something super special with that. And I'm going to be launching a brand this year that I haven't like fully announced.
Ooh,
but
congratulations.
that's exciting. And also kind of going into the acquiring businesses, like, you know, part really learning about franchises and different things and really just expanding and trying a bunch of different kind of content, not just food, but like more lifestyle and just people getting to know me in the most like, I want them to just really feel me.
Multi-hyphenate and billions and millions.
Yes, but by the way, we watched your acting reel.
Yes.
And you ate that
so good,
honey.
okay?
We
so
were literally
good.
like,
yes. Literally.
Like there was a scene with you and Tiana Taylor, and I was like, wow.
Oh, thank you.
Wow.
She's an actress. She's an actress.
She's an actress for real, for real. For real, for real.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
so we'll hopefully see you in some films and movies coming up.
Okay. My team is like, we're fully getting back in that mode.
Period.
You know?
Love that.
And I think sometimes we get stuck in like what people see of us and like that's it. But it's like, girl, there is so much more of me. Like, ain't nobody gonna tell me what I am and I'm not. Like,
I know that's right. I love that. We got to talk about some unfiltered conversation in our show. I think we could shift gears a little bit.
We shift a little bit.
We could shift a little bit. This is a part, I know Crystal mentioned this, where we talk about just unfiltered conversations, just us girls having our girl chat. So something that I wanted to ask is for you is what are your top 3 like non-negotiables when it comes to like dating and a significant other?
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. I took so much time to develop this, which is like, I was single for 2 years before I got with my current boyfriend. And so I was like, no, playing around. Like, no. Number 1, you have to have a relationship with God. Like, that's just number 1. Like, faith was so important to me. I dated men who didn't believe in God, and it bleeds into every aspect of your life. It just shows. I needed somebody. I don't need you to be like a pastor, but I need you to be like, you know, like my man, just like as I got the samples for the business I'm coming out with, he was like, let's pray over this before we open it. Oh. It's just like little things like that that meant so much.
God.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, oh, I love you, thank you, you know, and like, babe, let's pray about this. Like that meant a lot to me. So for me, I was like, God, I want to feel your presence in my relationship and in everything you do because that's such a big part of my life. Like I talk about God all the time.
I love that.
And I'm so proud about it. Like I love it. It's really gotten me through my hardest time. So that was very important for me. Another non-negotiable was somebody who could really match my like drive and not want to make me smaller to make him feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. I don't need you to always be at the, like, oh, I don't need you to be making as much or more money. Like, cool. Like, but I need you to have the same drive. Like I know that if we lose everything, we're going to get it back.
We going to hustle.
You're going to roll your sleeves up. And if we got to work at McDonald's, we're going to work at McDonald's and we're going to become millionaires again. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
That was really important to me. Like a man who's not afraid to roll his sleeves up and like get shit done. So that was number 2 for me. And then number 3 was somebody who was just very open to whatever their traumas are and triggers and could really talk about them, because as human beings, we all have our traumas and triggers. Everybody does, no matter what you've experienced. And I didn't want to have the trauma Olympics with my man. My trauma's better than you. Well, I've been through, no. We've both been through different journeys as we have. We're two different human beings.
Right.
So how can we better them and how can we not repeat what we've done and what our parents we might have seen, and just somebody who's like very open with their, emotional. So those are my top 3 things.
When the wedding happens, I might want to be a +2
I'm
for
gonna be there.
Crystal.
I'll be there.
I know
You
she's
know I'm
already
gonna be
getting an
there.
invitation, but I'm feeling the energy
Girl,
between
yes.
you and this man.
Yes,
Shout out
love
to him. Like, I want to be there.
Yes. It'll be in
I
Colombia.
love. So
yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I love
Thank you so
that.
much. Are you single?
I'm dating.
Oh, I love it.
I'm dating. But same with you. Like, I have to date someone who also believes in God, who is also spiritual. My man that I'm dating right now, we've gone to church together, like,
love that.
multiple times. Like, we love that.
Yeah.
So I Crystal, don't start.
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
No, let me tell you, Crystal's the queen of like, and then she'd be like, I wasn't gonna say anything. It's like, no, but you did.
I was.
Crystal
I
is
was
the
gonna
queen
say-
of facial expression, because before she even turned her face, she said,
Yeah, and then she'll hit you with the, I'm not gonna say anything. And I'm like,
Because I always catch myself like, shut up.
But listen, the reason why she's doing this is because I don't know if you're like this, but I'm very big on like private life when it relates to things that I care about. So I'm just like, I'm not posting it.
And
I'm just
Maria's like
I'm
an open
private.
book. Like, Narda's in your videos.
oh, yeah.
That's so funny.
Listen, speaking of, I'm dating a man who like is not in social media and gives no desire. He's like, I'm gonna punch one of your fucking followers if they ever come at you crazy. Like, like has no desire to be in front of the camera. It has taught me more privacy. I have gotten a lot better about privacy, and like I actually hold my relationship so sacred that very rarely do I did a story. I filmed a whole story time of how me and him got together, and I showed it to him, and he was like, "Babe, I just really don't feel comfortable you sharing such a personal part of our life." And I was like, you know what, babe? You're right. Everybody doesn't deserve to know this. Like, then you give people an open to like this beautiful part of you. So it's like, I feel you. I'm an open book where I'm like, you want to talk, girl, let's talk anything. And I'll talk about relationships. And if you ask me anything, I'm super comfortable talking about the darkest things at times. I probably should chill out. But yeah, I feel you. You keep some things private, other things you share.
Shout out to emotionally available men, because that's big, and that's something that you have to really do the workings. Like a man to know like emotionally when he wants to say how he feels and how he can effectively communicate that. So that's super dope. And then he feels like, girl, that's for us.
It's for us. And I was like, you're right, babe. You're right. It was a great video though.
What are qualities about yourself that you think help you the most in terms of continuing to elevate your life?
Number 1, I'm a delusional optimist.
Love the Lulu.
I'm a delusional optimist.
Team Delulu too.
I'm a delusional optimist, and I live by being a delusional optimist. Like, call me whatever you want, but it comes out because I'm like, oh my God, like my car got broken into and the camera doesn't work. Well, we got my phone. Let's figure it out. There's gonna be a hit. Like God's comeback is better. So I'm a delusional optimist, and I wear that so proudly, and it has helped me. I do good by people. I do not people over. Like, truly, I live by that. There is nobody that has worked with me that can say, she did me dirty. She stole. No. And I just believe, like, not only in the entertainment world, the world is so small. I've seen it happen over and over. So I think that's number 1 thing. Do good. Be a good person, man.
Yeah.
People do not forget how you made them feel, how you treated them.
That part.
Like they just don't, and I've come across it and been on the other side of it. People treating me so different when I had 3,000 followers to when I have millions. And I'm like, that's crazy. You didn't say hi to me when I had my little 4,000 followers and was
And
sitting
one thing
there.
about me, I'm gonna remember.
I'm gonna remember because I'm gonna remember everybody kindly. So like that's number 2, and number 3, I would say I follow my impulse. Honestly, I let my creativity impulse. I don't like to overthink it. Great, this is what I'm feeling. I'm gonna try it. If it flops, it flops. But did I like it? Was I fulfilled with it?
Yeah.
So I follow the things that I feel fulfilled in. And let everything else kind of work around that. I don't let the statistics, like I don't believe in like so much of the factual parts. Like, yeah, but like God sees some, like nobody can tell me anything because I believe in miracles. So I'm like, if I like this and I believe in it and I'm passionate about it, I'm gonna go with it. And everything else will fall into place.
I love that. I
Thank
think
you
that's like
so
the best
much,
way to end because
Mari.
that was like
Yeah.
a perfect Jen. Thank you, Maria.
Thank
so
you
much.
for coming on and during your vacation in Miami,
Yes.
Girl, I
stopping
had to
here
pull up.
to talk to us. Bikinis and
Yes.
mimosas this weekend. Let's do it.
I'm ready.
On Crystal, on Crystal.
No, on Madi with her McDonald's money, honey.
Marty, call me. I'm coming.
No, but seriously, thank you so much for coming on and just being transparent, unfiltered, but also like translating that energy into your content because it resonates with a lot of people.
Thank you.
And thank you guys so much for watching.
Yes.
Make sure you subscribe to Elevators Podcast. We're on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, you name it.
That's
we
right.
there. And Madi is gonna be here
Yes.
with us for this episode.
Make sure you
so-
also follow Madi. Thank
Yes.
you guys.
Thank y'all. This was so fun.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.